first lesson plan that I start with is my day one SAE lesson plan, because as many of you know, you have that one student in class, or maybe you have more than that, that are taking their first agricultural education course and they have no idea what an SAE is. So this lesson is to introduce the SAE, why it's important to agricultural education, and how it is part of our three-circle model. It's also a good review for your students that already know what an SAE is, to just kind of refresh their memory so that they all start out on the same page. So the content standards for the SAE are going to be found in our Wisconsin Common Career and Technical Education Standards. And so every lesson plan I've created has standards. So those of you who use standard-based grading will be able to find those. And I did the best I could in matching them to the lesson plans that I have created. And I think that they pretty much portray what it is we're trying to do with our SAE and career planning with our students. I have linked the guides from the National Council for Agricultural Education, and their information is readily available to you, so you have links to that. I have also created SAE rubrics, and I have SAE agreements that I use from the council for my students this year for the first time, but I'll get to those later. The lesson plan has directions to help you get the students' interest. There's an interest approach. I learned about making the three-circle model with the hula hoops at a workshop at the Region 3 conference this summer. The students really enjoyed the activity and the hands-on and being able to work together. And then we just discussed how the three-circle model works, the different opportunities available to the student in the classroom, through the FFA, and in their SAE projects. And then we also discussed about how they interact with each other. And so that was a really good way to kick off the SAE for the students, so that they understood how it was part of that three-circle model, and how the opportunities available to them in all three circles kind of all connected together. And then I put up the definition of what is an SAE, the graphic that I showed you earlier, and we discussed that, especially emphasizing the student-led portion of it, that this is their career plan. It shouldn't be the teacher's career plan. It shouldn't be their friend's career plan. It needs to be their career plan. And then I talk about how the SAE works, the 5 components that I use for grading. And then we talk about SAE agreements. This is the first year I've used SAE agreements, and so it was a little bit of a struggle getting the students to take them home and get their parents to sign them. But I do have, I would say, 95% of them back, and the students have come up with a plan for an immersion SAE. My students are required to do a foundational SAE based on their career planning, and an immersion SAE, which is hours they keep track of that they do outside of class time. In addition, at the end of the lesson, I have the links to my awareness foundational SAE, my intermediate foundational SAE, and advanced foundational SAE weekly assignment sheets, and those I will show you in a little bit. The 7th grade, 8th grade rubrics, and my 9th through 12th grade rubrics, I've established 3 different rubrics because I found that my middle school students need more time to complete one of the weekly assignments. So my 7th graders are doing the first half of the awareness SAE assignments, and they get 2 weeks to work on each weekly assignment. And the 8th grade are doing the second half of the awareness lessons and research, and they also get 2 weeks to complete those. The class length is only 45 minutes at my middle school, so it doesn't really give me enough time to instruct the students and then give them time to work on it. So a lot of times I do the lesson plan with them the first week, and then the second week they actually really get to do the research and complete the assignment. The 9th through 12th graders rubric is a 12-week rubric, 12 weeks of lessons, because we are on a trimester this year. So I also have their final projects linked here, and there are 4 different ones that they can choose from to do their final project. So I introduced the SAE for All to my students using this lesson plan.